We are live, YouTube, looking at the Dan Wesson Valor 1911 Bobtail Commander. The popular Bobtail Commander from Dan Wesson is now available in the Valor series in the form of the V-Bob. The Valor series is Dan Wesson's flagship line, meaning it is the best they have to offer. Frankly, they feel it's the best production 1911 on the market. The V-Bob is loaded with features including a forged bobtail frame with the amazingly smooth 25 lines per inch checkering on the front and the back, an undercut trigger guard, tactical ledge night sights, VZ slimline G10 grips, EGW carry bevel bushings, which makes for a slim profile for carry, as well as tool steel fire controls and other premium tactical small parts. Every piece that goes into the Valor series is hand fit, polished, and blended to provide you with not only the best functioning gun Dan Wesson can provide, but also the best looking. Now, this example is the black duty finish, and the duty finish pistol is more than the stainless steel finish, but I can tell you from having owned both that the duty finish, the black finish you see here, is far less susceptible to scratching and holster wear. That stainless will get small scratches on it if you carry it. So Dan Wesson goes on to say the V-Bob can be had either with a matte stainless glass bead finish or the super durable black duty finish. This finish is a revolutionary treatment process that actually bonds to the components and creates a super durable matte black skin. The duty black finish beats any of the spray and bake finishes most companies use today, hands down. The durability testing that Dan Wesson has done proves that this duty finish is more durable than the competitors. And again, I can tell you that this particular finish is it's really tough. And if you can shell out the extra cash, I would definitely do it, because it's essentially like buying an expensive iPhone. You know, you usually get it with a glass screen protector, tempered glass screen protector. Maybe you buy an OtterBox for it. This duty finish is what I would compare to that, you know. And of course, they're always those damn OtterBoxes are always full retail at the phone place. So if you have the patience, you order it online. Anyhow, this specimen was handpicked by myself from the wild, used, and as you can see, no idiot mark, which is what I usually look for first when purchasing a 1911. A lot of times, other than holster wear, you know, towards the end and the top of the slide on both sides, the main thing that I look for in a 1911 is what's called an idiot mark, which is when someone is either disassembling or assembling a 1911, they put a big old scratch right here. So as you can see, this one's in excellent cosmetic condition, and you can attest that to that black duty finish. So let's talk about some of the specs here. Forged stainless frame, bead blasted slide on the stainless. This particular example, again, is coated in that duty black finish. Overall length is 8 inches. It's got a 4 1/4 inch barrel, being a commander length. This is what I would call the carry model with that bobtail here at the bottom of the frame. It really helps out from the gun jamming into your gut when you're wearing it on your side. Now, the weight is the only I don't want to call it a complaint, because the frame is forged stainless steel. So I mean, a steel frame as opposed to an alloy frame is going to weigh more. That's just a fact. So it's you know, to me the weight is going to be what it is because of the frame's construction, the material it's made out of. However, other than the weight, I don't have anything I can say that I don't like about this pistol. Now, personally, I like a alloy frame 1911 just because it's lighter. Usually my gripe also about a 1911 will be a wide grips. I don't like wide grips. And I don't have the biggest hands. I prefer that it not have, almost a double stack feel to it for me when it's got the super wide grips on it. But you can actually get a setup with slimmer grips than this. I mean, if you get a super slim grip on a 1911, it's almost like if you just take your grips off and hold your 1911 with no grips at all, it's way thinner. You'll see what I'm talking about. So we've got a single action trigger, of course, fixed night sights, which you've got a dot back here and a dot up front. Manual thumb safety, grip safety here with the nice beaver tail there. And the MSRP, 1776 in the stainless. So the black, the MSRP is going to run, let's see if it's going to load here. In the black, the MSRP is going to run just over $2,000. Well, closer to 21. So if you're shelling out that money, I'm telling you, shell out just a tad bit more and get that duty finish. Now, as Dan Wesson said, they honestly feel that they make the best production 1911 on the market. And we're going to talk about the features. So this bobtail butt profile that you see here that makes it the V-Bob, the Valor Bobtail, it may be non-traditional, but many prefer its feel in the hand as well as the reduced frame size that results in less printing. Now for me, if I'm driving or getting in and out of my truck usually, or sitting down and getting up, is usually when this jams into you. So not having that sharp edge there, believe it or not, it comes in quite handy, and it does feel different in the hand. Now these sights I was mentioning earlier, it's a fixed Novak style snag free sight with a tritium self-illuminated vial front. Front sight, rear sight, both tritium illuminated. You've got a long solid trigger, and this was used to give a traditional look and incorporate a serrated face. And by long solid trigger, it means that the trigger comes out longer, not that you've got a longer trigger pull necessarily. Rear tactical night sight, just like the front, it's got that tritium insert. Now the single point cut checkering, you would think that this checkering would be aggressive or abrasive, 25 lines per inch. If I can get it to zoom in enough, it's almost like little cones. But the way that they have checkered this, it's actually very smooth. So to be that detailed of a checkering and still be so smooth is really nice. Really, really nice. So you got a tactical skeletonized hammer here, which reduces weight and just maintains a cool look to it. Now the barrel, of course, has a traditional cut. Now this pistol, this particular example is chambered in 9mm. It comes in 45 as well. And the price between the black, for instance, the black 45 and the black 9, the MSRP is going to be the same. I can tell you, as far as these guns popping up on the used market, really the best place to find them is Gunbroker, and there really won't even be that many on there. If you're looking around locally, this is a scarce pistol for guys to buy, and usually when a guy invests that much into a pistol, it's kind of like buying a real nice car. It kind of becomes your forever car, and this becomes a lot of guys' forever gun because it's an amazing shooting gun. It looks really good. It it doesn't get beat up, unless you abuse it. If you're just carrying it in a leather holster or even in a Kydex holster, it's going to look like this, if you don't treat it rough, and throw it on your tools or something crazy, and most guys aren't going to do that with this expensive of a gun. So most guys wouldn't do that with an inexpensive gun. So very cool offering from Dan Wesson, and I have seen a lot of customers who get into 1911s, and they may start out with a Rock Island or an ATI, which there's nothing wrong with those. And usually they start working their way up through the Ruger and Smith & Wesson 1911s, mainly the Ruger and the Springfield. They might jump into a Colt. But once you get up to this level of 1911, being that every single part is hand fitted when it's assembled at the manufacturer, it's really it's a different type of beast. It's a different type of animal. Kind of like comparing a assembly line, Chevy Silverado, or even a assembly line Chevy Corvette to like a handmade high-end Italian sports car. So we hope you appreciate this video here, and if you're looking at getting one of these, this is probably going to be the next best thing to actually having it in your hand and being able to hold it. Now I've got medium-sized hands, as you can see. In a commander length, this is really a good size, and it's only 3/4 of an inch shorter than the government model, but just kind of like the Glock 19 is that much better than the 17 because it's only a tad smaller. It's the same kind of deal. It definitely points well. It's well balanced with that steel frame. And like I said before, I prefer aluminum frame, but at the same time with that aluminum frame, I usually prefer something like the Smith & Wesson Performance Center with the lightening cuts here that lighten up the front of the frame. But I'm kind of picky, little picky. I would carry this gun any day of the week, and if you can find it for the right price, I would not hesitate to pick one up used. But a lot of times guys ask like real close to what it would be to buy a new one of these, and so something that I urge you to think about is getting a brand new one straight from essentially the distributor who got it straight from the manufacturer. If you're within like $100 or $150, it might be worth it just to spend the extra and get a brand new untouched, unmolested Dan Wesson. Now that being said, they do offer on Gunbroker, I forget the seller name, but there's a seller on Gunbroker, or maybe it's a few sellers that offer the Dan Wessons in factory blemish models. So usually those will have cosmetic defects on it. They won't affect the shootability of the gun. But for me, if I'm spending that kind of money on a 1911, I'm going to want to buy one without the scratches on it, like most people. So as always, we appreciate you watching this video. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so you get instant notifications when we do these live videos. So take care, and we'll see you in the next one.